Hello students, your Shalini Bhatia ma'am is here to teach you today about acids, bases and salts, which is a very important chapter of chemistry. So before starting the chapter, we all should know what is the importance of this chapter. Actually, there are so many substances around us which are acidic, which are basic, and these substances they are used in our life. So we should know their characteristics. That is why the chapter is included in your class. So let's start the chapter with acids, bases, and salts today. So let's see what are indicators. Actually, indicators are those substances which change their color in acidic and basic medium. So here are the first kind of indicators, that is the natural indicators. Natural indicators, as the name indicates, we get it from nature. A very important and a very easy example is turmeric. Turmeric changes its color. When you put soap in it, it becomes reddish. Next is synthetic indicator. Synthetic indicators are prepared in laboratories. For example, phenolphthalein, it is a synthetic indicator. Then comes olfactory indicators. Olfactory indicators are those indicators which change their smell in acidic and basic medium, and a very good example of olfactory indicators is vanilla. How these indicators, they behave in acidic, basic and neutral medium. So the first one is phenolphthalein, very commonly used in laboratories. In neutral, it is colorless. In acidic medium also it is colorless, but in basic medium it is pink. Next is litmus. Normal color of litmus in neutral is purple, while in acidic it is red, in base it is blue. You in your previous classes you have studied that blue litmus changes to red in acidic medium. Red litmus changes to blue in basic medium. So this is the final color of litmus in acidic medium and in basic medium. Next comes methyl orange. Orange in neutral medium, while in acidic medium it is red. Means in acidic medium it becomes a little deeper in color. In basic medium it becomes yellow. Means it becomes a little lighter in color from orange. Okay. So these are the three very important indicators. Now let us see the physical characteristics of acid. It is sour in taste, matlab khatta. It is corrosive in nature, means if it falls on your hand, then your hand can burn. If it falls on your clothes will burn. Next is it turns blue litmus to red. We all know about it since so many years. You also must have heard about it. Next is it is soluble in water. You can easily dissolve it in water. It is a good electrolyte, means it converts to ions. It breaks up to ions in water. Next, the chemical properties of acids. In the chemical properties of acids, we will take the first property, that is reaction with metals. In this zinc, which is a metal, it reacts with hydrochloric acid and it forms salt and hydrogen gas. Next is reaction with metal carbonates or bicarbonates. When it reacts with carbonates or bicarbonates, it forms a salt, water and carbon dioxide gas. It is again a very significant, very important reaction that you just take baking soda, hydrogen and sodium hydrogen carbonate and add hydrochloric acid to it. Or you can even add acetic acid to it, which is commonly known as vinegar. And you will find that lots of bubbles, they come out of it, of carbon dioxide gas. Next, Reaction with base. It reacts with base um, to form salt and water, and this reaction is called neutralization reaction. That means um, sodium hydroxide plus hydrochloric acid forms sodium chloride plus water. Here, salt and water are formed. When acid and base react to form salt and water, it is called neutralization reaction. More chemical properties of acid. This copper oxide, which is a black solid, it reacts with hydrochloric acid and forms copper chloride solution, which is bluish green in color, and water. Then comes reaction with sulfite or bisulfite. Na2SO3, sodium sulfite. NaHSO3 is sodium bisulfite. Both of these reacts with HCl to form salt, H2O, water, and sulfur dioxide gas. Sulfur dioxide gas is a pungent smelling gas. So this is how the reaction is identified. The next is reaction with ammonia. Now you must be thinking ammonium hydroxide. Ammonia plus water forms ammonium hydroxide. So this ammonium hydroxide reacts with hydrochloric acid to form salt and water. Again, this is a neutralization reaction. Next is reaction with metal sulfide. That means iron sulfide plus hydrochloric acid forms iron chloride plus hydrogen sulfide, a very significant reaction, because in this reaction, this hydrogen sulfide gas is formed, which has got the smell of rotten eggs. Now here is the experiment which is related to reaction of metals with hydrochloric acid. It forms hydrogen gas. Here this hydrogen gas is evolved and it reaches the soap water. In the soap water, it forms bubbles. These are the bubbles which are formed. And when you bring a burning candle near the bubbles, it will explode because hydrogen gas is, is an explosive gas. Next is the experiment of neutralization reaction. In this reaction, we take a conical flask in which we take sodium hydroxide and put 2-3 drops of phenolphthalein in it. This phenolphthalein changes the color of the solution to pink. Now when you add, with the help of a burette, you add HCl to it drop by drop, this will get neutralized. Slowly and slowly, slowly and slowly, all the sodium hydroxide will be neutralized. And a point will come when no color, it will become colorless. And that is called the end point. That is how, where the sodium hydroxide is neutralized with HCl completely. Next, classification of acids. Acids can be classified into different categories. The first is on the basis of strength. Strong acid and weak acid. Strong acids like HCl, like sulfuric acid, like nitric acid. All of these are called strong acid because they fully ionize in water and they form large amount of hydrogen ions. Next is weak acids. Weak acids are those acids which do not completely ionize in water, and the examples are acetic acid or any type of organic acid. Even carbonic acid is a weak acid. Next is on the basis of dilution, concentrated acids and dilute acids. Concentrated acids are those which have got more acid and less water. Dilute acids are those which have more water and less acid. Next is on the basis of the source. Organic acids are those which are derived from the plants and animals. For example, tartaric acid. For example, citric acid. Mineral acids are those which we get from minerals. For example, hydrochloric acid, for example, nitric acid, etc. Next is the basicity of acids. Basicity of acids, see the name first of all, basicity of acids. Now acids, we can say acidity, no. It is called basicity because acid neutralized base, and on the basis of the number of hydrogen ions in it, this is known as monobasic, dibasic, tribasic, or tetrabasic. Here, monobasic means it has got one hydrogen, that means it neutralizes to one OH minus ion. It has got two hydrogens, so it will neutralize two OH minus ions. So this is the reason that it is called monobasic, dibasic, tribasic, tetrabasic, etc. Next is the test for carbon dioxide gas. The test for carbon dioxide gas is done in this way, that first of all, sodium carbonate and dilute ethanoic acid, they are both dissolved in it, they are both added to the test tube. When they are added to the test tube, carbon dioxide gas is released, and this carbon dioxide gas, it is taken through this delivery tube to another test tube containing calcium hydroxide solution. Now this calcium hydroxide solution, it reacts with carbon dioxide and it forms calcium carbonate, and thus the solution becomes milky in the beginning when the carbon dioxide gas is in less amount. Then the next reaction, when carbon dioxide is in large amount, at that time this milkiness disappears because of the formation of calcium bicarbonate. You can see the second reaction at the bottom, and in that calcium carbonate plus water plus carbon dioxide, they react to form calcium bicarbonate, which is a soluble substance. So the milkiness disappears in the test tube.